have happened. If you remember from the last video I did, I was prepping for Junior Worlds. And why I stopped making videos, I'm not gonna have a long explanation, but it was just, I was stressed as heck because I was doing back-to-back meets, and it was my third meet in a row, and it was my last chance that I ever would have had to become the Junior World Champion, because now I'm going into the Open. I'm no longer a junior as of New Year's Eve. I won't be a junior anymore, meaning this was my last shot. And doing back-to-back meets, even though I was performing well, it took its toll mentally. I was just, I just didn't have so much more energy left. And due to that, I just had to decide to delete and subtract some things from my life, and YouTube was one of those things, and instead just focus on doing my work as a coach and doing my training, and then if I had time over, literally just rest, because I didn't have the energy at that time, which I did for nationals and which I did for Open Worlds. I did have that energy, which is why I always made a video, and that is why I got away, because in the end, I'm an athlete, I'm also a coach and not a YouTuber, but I like making YouTube videos because it helps me. First of all, I get a lot of energy from it, I like it, but it also helps me in my journey to, becoming the best powerlifter that I possibly could be, and showing that journey as well. But so many things have happened since that last video. But so like I said, this year was my last chance of becoming the Junior World Champion. Like, if I missed this year, I wouldn't have another chance. And basically, I've been doing powerlifting for 6 years, and ever since I started, my goal has just been to go as far as I possibly can. And I heard people talking like juniors is easy, it doesn't matter, it's not like comparable to the Open, and so I still believed in the value of doing Junior Worlds and winning that championship to get the confidence into the Open, and it's still international standard. Like, from having, I competed at Open Worlds, I competed at Junior Worlds. It feels the exact same, just that the competition maybe isn't as high as in the Open, but it's still the exact same, and for me, it's always been competition. Either way, because of that, I thought I want to win Junior Worlds as a stepping stone to the Open, to getting, to my goals. And 2021, I got to my first Junior Worlds, and when I found out I was going, I cried for like 30 minutes. Like, I just cried my ass off because I was so happy, and I really believed that I would win that one, even though my nomination was like 50 or something kilos, like below the top nominations. I was way weaker, but I just thought that I can force myself to get stronger, and it was a good thing that I had that mindset. But at the same time, I tried to force it, and I didn't accept my weaknesses and where I was, so I just tried to overshoot and go max out every single session, hoping I would be strong enough for meet day. That obviously didn't work. I got third, I lost, I was devastated, but I learned a lot. And then I did Europeans just 2 months after that, and I performed even worse, although I thought it was gonna be my redemption meet and show that I could have won, and it didn't happen. And then the year after that, I injured myself in 2022, and the entire year was just like getting back to my old numbers and trying to like work on mistakes, because I realized that I was overshooting all the time, and that wasn't a good thing. And so I kind of realized the value in not going too heavy in my training. But at that time, I didn't want what happened in 2021 to happen again. So instead of thinking that I was gonna win, this time I was satisfied with a second place. And I even thought about it. What if I was daydreaming on a walk, like, what if I get to the point where I could even pull for the win? Like, I secure silver in the second, and I was like, no, you can't think like that way. You can't think like that. I tried to like push it away to protect myself from possibly failing, because I thought at that point that if I aim to win, I'm gonna overshoot and have hyperintention, and then I will perform worse. So I kind of hope that if I'm accepting where I am at the moment, and I'm very realistic and don't aim to win, then maybe like stars will align and I actually will win, which is really weird. And then the year after that, I kept like I was never in the middle. I was always like either hardcore, maxing out, going super heavy, forcing myself to become better, and which never worked, or like being super calm and being like, no, it's okay, I'm okay with losing, I can't control if I win or not, and like that part, because I was intimidated and scared of having competition, even though my real goal was to win. I tried that approach because it was so hard for me to aim to win but accepting my weaknesses and working on my weaknesses, but still aiming to win, like being there in the middle. And in 2023, I realized this when I was on the airplane to Romania for Worlds as well. So it was too late because in that prep I tried to force train, and then when I didn't make the PRs that I was supposed to do to win, then I was like, okay, maybe I have to, get a second place this time, because I already lost to that person that I lost to then at Europeans in 2022, where I almost bombed in the bench press as well. So it was like, okay, I realized my mistake, and I decided when I was on an airplane, no, I need to go into this meet and think that I can win, because it is really close. I actually could. And then the entire meet, I actually thought I was gonna win. I actually still lost because I did mistakes that meet either way with 2 kilos, and that was devastating because I think I was strong enough still to possibly win, but I did too many mistakes and I didn't. And now it's my last shot. But when you've been training for like 6 years and your goal has been to like make a stepping stone goal of becoming a junior world champion so you can go higher, you start doubting yourself a little bit. Like, if it doesn't happen now, does that mean I don't have what it takes? Does that mean that it's like not possible? I didn't want to believe that. I always pushed those thoughts away, but they would like be there. So I didn't want to allow those thoughts to like come into fruition, but still the doubts were there. And then I got into Worlds, or got into 2024, and now is my last shot. And I decided to do open worlds to get comfortable being uncomfortable, like go into a field of competition, because I realized I am protecting myself way too much. It's not guaranteed, which is never will be, that I will maybe win. Then I didn't want to do the meet because I was so scared of competition. There were so many emotions, and I still have those emotions. They're still there. It's just that now I accept them and I'm in peace with them. But previously, those emotions of being scared of competition, scared of maybe losing, scared of maybe failing, not achieving what I want, was so hard to deal with that if it was an if, I almost didn't want to experience it. So open world was so beneficial for me. I went into open worlds hoping to either win or possibly make a performance good enough to qualify for World Games and get a wild card for Sheffield, which obviously didn't happen. I got 4th and I was way too comfortable. I wasn't even nervous. It was like I actually got too comfortable, and to the point where I was like I did everything right, but on the meet day it wasn't too easy because I didn't really realize that how tight it was. And for that, I took these lessons into open worlds, like realizing you can't be comfortable in what you're doing. You can't be comfortable these competitions like, oh, it's so, you're good, you're strong, you can just chill and you're gonna win. Like, that won't happen. So I went in way more fierce into the prep for junior worlds, like way more fierce, thinking like, okay, now, I gotta give everything I got, and I gotta be comfortable actually having the fears. So I was like literally thinking and creating like this image in my head that it was a neck and neck battle. I was gonna compete against Jacob, and she had to pull out. Unfortunately, I found out the day before, which was really sad because I was really excited about that. But then, I was like, okay, we got Betty there. She's a deadlifter. Like, whatever could happen, I will not underestimate anyone. For me, it's neck and neck this time. It wasn't apparently, which I found out like in the deadlift and in the meet, but either way, that made like all of this, all that I learned throughout the years, like came together on that meet day at Junior Worlds, and we made it. I became the Junior World Champion. I became the best lifter, which I always wanted. In 2023, I got 3rd best. And I got best lifter, and my total would have won every weight class but 84 pluses, which I would have put him in. I didn't know this, but shout out to King of the Lips, Ryan, who made me realize that, which is pretty cool. And I did a 29 kilo PR. I think I won with about 60 kilos, which I thought it was like 1 kilo. I thought like if I miss one lift, I'm screwed. And then it was like I also did a total 554 kilos, which was bigger than the total that won open worlds, and also that was just 3.5 kilo away from the open world record. And then at this time, I knew it was a big performance. This was like open world class performance, but then I found out it was one of the top 10 performances in IPF of all time through men and women, and that is crazy. That is mind-blowing. I didn't know that. It was not something like I was aiming for. These series, all that I was aiming for was just to win. But I achieved so proud and happy about that performance. And then, you know, I was like thinking, maybe what if this get me into Sheffield, because all the wildcards weren't like elected yet. I kind of kept the hope going, although I thought it was not gonna happen. All the wildcards were announced, and I wasn't one of them. And I was like, okay, I expected that, it's fine. And then I got a call from Pete, and you know, I found out I get to go to Sheffield. Someone dropped out, which is super sad, obviously, but I got the alternate spot. And it's like, I don't know how somehow stars aligned. And I remember in 2023 when I met another flex guy, and when I was at Nationals, and we just briefly spoke and said hi because we have the same coach. And I just joked and said, okay, see you at Sheffield in 2025. And I was like, I thought that I wanted to achieve that, and at that time I thought I could, and this year I set out to try and get to Sheffield 2025, but it seemed like dark, and it was like, maybe this isn't the year, maybe it will be 2026 or something, but then it actually happened. And now we are 45 days away from Sheffield when I'm filming this video, so almost only 6 weeks out, and that is so mind-blowing. I've been prepping for some time since I found out this has already been announced. If you follow me on Instagram, you obviously already know we're going to Sheffield. And prep has started. I've had a couple of easier weeks because of just being fatigued, and now, you know, I started prep and started pushing more, and I'm just crazy excited to go out there. You know, I'm gonna compete against Leah again. Obviously, every other girl in the weight class, like world champion. But not only that, I'm gonna compete against Leah, who's been my role model. I remember meeting her in 2021 and being like starstruck. You know, and now I am actually at a level where I'm allowed to compete against her, where I'm like chosen to actually go up against her. And that is just crazy. It feels, I'm very honored, and in a way it still feels unreal. So I'm like prepping, but at the same time I was like, yeah, go doing Sheffield. And it's like, I usually never prep for something at this time of year, so it's a little bit weird, but I'm all for it. I'm very excited. With that said, in this video you're gonna get to see the deadlift session I did this Wednesday. I was gonna film this intro back then, but I didn't have the time, so that's why I'm filming it now. Instead, yesterday I had bench, and today I actually just got back from doing squats. And some tempo squats and Bulgarian split squats, which killed me, which they always do, either way. But so this video is just gonna be that session, and I'm gonna try to make as many videos as I have the energy for. One video, one per week, or maybe every other week of this prep, so you get to see a little bit of the road to Sheffield, because we're getting closer. Time literally flies. It feels like it was yesterday that we were like 12 weeks out. So time flies, it's getting closer. You know, Christmas is in 2 weeks, and then it's New Year's, and then it's like, oh, less than a month until Sheffield. So I'm excited, and I'm gonna see you in the gym in the next clip. So stay tuned for that, and let's go, let's do this. actually really good because I've been going easy for quite some time now, because like just when I found out that I was going to Sheffield and when I got the wild card, I was like in training where I had like one more heavy week of the block, and I was in really good shape. And so that week turned out to be really heavy because I was just so strong. And so I got very fatigued from that, and my pelvis, my sacrum, and basically my iliac joint got like really fatigued and just tired because of it. And so I've had to basically go easier. So I just had like a gut feeling, if I push now, even though, you know, I was 12 weeks out from Sheffield, it was like, if I push too hard now, I could risk something. So I just kept it a little bit more chill, more easy. And now I feel like I had a deload last week. I just got back up to again. I hit a PR in the deadlift of 215 for a double. And because of that PR, initially we were going to have another heavy week last week. But because I hit that PR and the deadlifts actually turned out pretty heavy, we were like, okay, let's just do a deload right now, again, either way, and then begin to push again. And so we did. And so last week was super easy, and now this week was like the first one where I'm ramping the weight up a little bit. And I feel a little bit rusty, to be honest, but I still was able to do 210. And like, 210 is what I hit for my single, when I hit that 215 for a double. So it's like I haven't really been much heavier than that, and it was easy. Like it was a solid RP 67, and I'm really happy about that because it usually is like an RP 7. And I thought the program was saying RP 7 as well, which is why I went to 10. So I'm happy that it turned into RP 67 because it was supposed to be only RP 67. So it was like a really good single, and I'm happy that it just moved so well. It was like hard in the bottom but easy in the lockout, and that's an RP6 for me. When it's like RP7, it's like it's hard all the way through, from the bottom to the top, and then lockout is harder when it's like RP8 plus and like max effort. So it was a really good session. And then I did dumbbell rows, and I'm really trying to focus on getting a little stretch in my lat, which I think have helped a lot for building my lats lately. And then also I had reversed a lat pull-on with a reverse rip, which really, I feel like I can feel them in my shoulder blades so much in lower traps, which I like. And then I also do like leg extensions for my hamstrings, so that's amazing. I really like those as well, because right now because of the sacrum, the pelvic floor pain that I had, because I was fatigued, we don't really want to load my spine right now and do more RDLs, which I usually do for my hamstrings. So instead we do back extensions where I focus on my hamstrings. So those move really well. I actually like those. It's the first time that I'm doing them, but I really like them, so that's good as well. But so it was just a good session, and now we're gonna ramp it up, and so more videos are gonna come. I'm not gonna promise every week, but I'm gonna try to, as long as I have the mental energy that I have right now and the focus that I have right now. Like, I can do it. It's just that if I start feeling tired again, I have to focus on just getting the training done. That's just what I need to do. But right now I feel really good, so that's why I thought I should make a video and give you an update, because we're going to Sheffield. I still kind of can't believe it, because I'm so excited for that. And thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. So stay tuned for Sheffield 2025.